Welcome back. If you came from part 2, then you have just completed the V and you should have your front and back panels and you've laid them on top of each other using your stitch markers, kind of keep them in place, and this is what it should look like. I'm now going to show you how to do the sleeves. And basically, I use a measurement. I look at an oversized sweater or a shirt I really like the size of the sleeve, and I measure it. I think I measured about 8 or 9 inches from the top of the panel to down, marked that off with a stitch marker, and then I attached on and began single crocheting around the sleeve hole. So basically, that spot you made, just go around in a circle until you reach the start, which I recommend using a stitch marker, and I just do single crochets for the base. And a note you're going to want to do that's really helpful is count in your head how many single crochets you make in the armhole and write that down so you know to use that same amount of stitches in your other armhole so your sleeves come out pretty much the same size and exact shape. So I'm going to continue single crocheting around, and once I reach the stitch marker where I started, I'm going to slip stitch to that first single crochet, and then I'm going to chain 2, and this is where I'm going to begin my double crochets working the sleeves. I also wanted to note you could do a half double crochet around or a single crochet. Either or doesn't matter. I think the written pattern I write a half double crochet, but I think either or totally fine. For the jersey I made, I believe I made 59 half double crochets around the armhole, and then that's when I slip stitched the first stitch, chain 2, and began my double crochet in every stitch. And you're going to do that for rounds 2 to 5. You're just in double crochet in each stitch, doing the slip stitching into the top of that chain 2 on every row, chaining 2, and then continuing with that chain 2 being your first double crochet. And then when you start to add, so for the stripe pattern, you're going to use your accent color, do 1 row half double crochet, 1 row double crochet, and then the 3rd row of that accent color is another row half double crochet. And then when you're done, you're going to switch back to your main color, attach on, doing 1 row double crochet and then 1 row half double crochet to finish off the sleeve. And then you will repeat that same pattern onto your other sleeve. So now that you're here and your jersey is almost complete, you still need to put together the sides, but I've completed the sleeves and I still need to add the color change on the sleeve. So you'll add on and do a row, the same thing you're doing with double crochet. And then for this part, I'm just going to do the collar, or not the collar, I'm going to do attaching the panels together, because you can do that before you continue on if you don't want to. But anyway, so to attach your panels together, you're going to make sure that the pretty side is facing in, the uglies out to you. So whatever side you want to see, make sure that you don't see it here, because you're going to flip it out, inward out. So this is going to be the pretty side facing together. So all you're going to do is once you're done with your sleeves, if you like to do it then or before you start your sleeves, whatever, just make sure there's enough for the sleeve hole. I used my stitch marker to mark where the 2 ends meet. And down here is where the sleeve starts. You're going to attach your yarn again and just single crochet all the way down and you fasten off. It's that simple. And just kind of make a spot. There we go. And then ba-doop. You're going to pull through. You're going to chain 1, and that counts as your first single crochet. And you're just going to find spaces and make single crochets so that the panels close together. See how I'm doing that? Insert, pull through 2. And you insert, boom, insert, boom. You're doing this all the way down until you fasten off. And then once you reach your stitch marker, you're going to take it out. And then gonna attach the paneling. Oh wait, I did an extra. Boop. And one more for good luck. And then to fasten off, once you're done with this last single crochet, you chain one, leave enough of a tail, and you cut. And then you just pull through, and boom, and you'll weave that in. And then you have, and I left a little like opening, like how a jersey at the end does, but like a little triangle. But yeah, so now you have your shirt paneling attached here, and you just repeat the same for the other side.